Hi, I'm John McAuliffe, Chief Marketing Officer of VFM Leonardo, and welcome to VTV. VTV has been produced for hotel e-commerce, marketing, and sales professionals to provide insights, knowledge, and learnings from industry experts on how to extract more value from a hotel's presence on the internet. Each week, I will interview an industry expert on a single topic. We have discovered many of these topics from the industry people like yourself, and encourage you to let us know if there are other topics you would like us to cover in future episodes of VTV. You can email us at vtv@vfmleonardo.com and make your suggestions anytime. Welcome to today's episode. Our topic today is online marketing versus offline marketing, and I am joined by David Attardi. David is the Director of E-commerce at BF Saul Company. He manages all e-commerce activities for BF Saul's 18 hotel properties. David, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, John.
And thank you for joining us on VTV.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Today's topic, online versus offline marketing. David, we've seen over the number of years a tremendous growth in travel shoppers flocking to the online space. I've seen some recent reports that indicate over 80% of travel shopping is done online, which represents about 90 million travel shoppers in the US alone. How has your hotel's marketing approach changed in reaction to this trend?
I think it's changed dramatically, actually, especially in the last 5 years. In talking to internal property level people at our hotels, I often ask them, out of every 10 people that walk through the door, how many people do they think have seen a rack card or a printed piece of collateral or something they've put together that could tell them about their hotel? And usually they say, I don't know, maybe half of the people that walk through the door. And I think the real number is probably closer to somewhere between 0 and 1. And then I ask them, how many people do they think that walk through the door of every 10 have seen some form of their hotel on the internet, whether it be their hotel independent website, their brand website, or some review online. And I think that number probably is closer to those statistics, somewhere between 8 and 10. So, that's helping us internally get the focus on our online marketing within our own division and our property level team members. I think historically, hoteliers have, in the spirit of guest satisfaction, always tried to be everything for everybody. And I think one of the things that they try to be is sort of marketers. And I think what I'm trying to do inside of our organization is say, we have tools, we have resources, we have talent inside of our own company to really be good at this. And let's focus on the right things. In that same vein, there's a promotion inside of the hotel. People are very quick to hop on their PC and pull up some clip art and put together a publisher or a PowerPoint flyer and throw it up in the lobby and expect sales to rise. But I think it's shifted so much where that we need to have slick we need to pick our spots along in terms of offline marketing and printed collateral and be good at it and to have a professional look and feel. And it needs to be consistent. But more than anything, it just needs to supplement what people are seeing online, and that experience starts way before people walk in the door. And I think it's all part of a coordinated marketing effort that is mostly electronic based, but it's supplemented with printed collateral. And people aren't shopping in the same place. I mean, some people are finding our hotels through search engine searches on Google or Bing or Yahoo, and some people are going directly to our independent website. Some people are finding us on Marriott.com or Hilton.com or whatever, and then there are those that are on third-party internet sites or TripAdvisor. So we're conscious of all of those online marketing pieces, and then using, like I said, picking our spots in offline printed material to be consistent with the personality of our hotel and a high level of service that we provide. But that transition from offline to online is really, I think, I don't know exactly the marketing spin, but I would say that 95% of all of our marketing and advertising dollars are spent online right now.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
And you did talk about the fact that there is still an amount of offline that you're marketing that you're doing. What is the difference in the role that online plays versus offline?
Like I said, I think offline printed pieces definitely have their value and have their spots, have their place inside of our strategy. I think printed offline things can really make a big difference for us on property. Getting people to the property once they're there. A lot of our hotels have retail restaurant outlets. We have a couple pub concepts in some of our properties, and once we get them there on property, it's using those tools to drive them into the restaurant or to to promote brand promotions, whether it be through IHG's biggest free night promotion and getting them to sign up for Priority Club points, or whether it be something on Marriott.com. But you really being smart about what we're putting in front of our guests on property, and using it to supplement what they're seeing before they even walk through the door. I also think from a sales and marketing and relationship perspective that there's definitely a role for printed offline material in relatively traditional sales kits. I think that's something that people still find value in. I think when there's people selling your hotel, building relationships with potential guests and corporate clients, I think there's value in giving them something that's professional looking and it's slick and it represents your hotel. And I think people feel good about taking something that they can keep and have. But again, that's ultimately going to drive them probably to the web. So those two things have to be consistent.
Right. So it sounds like most of your offline activity is done on site, and you use online marketing to drive people to your hotels for booking.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's fair to say. Again, we're always trying to create a 360-degree experience for our guests, and that starts from the first time they have even a thought about going to wherever our markets are, all the way through their research process, through their booking, through that booking funnel, and then even after their stay with follow-up items online, whether it be reaching out to them via email to get through the brand to get a guest satisfaction survey, or to solicit their feedback via a travel review mechanism such as TripAdvisor or something like that. So it's a full circle. It's a 360-degree strategy that we try to have through our online efforts.
One of the things that as a fellow marketer that I've always loved about the internet is it is very measurable. And it allows us as marketers to bring a little bit more of a quantitative measurement to our marketing activities as it specifically relates to revenue. What type of ROI should one expect from online marketing activities in the hotel business?
That's tough to say, and I can say that unfortunately I've had some terrible experiences with receiving ROI and then some pretty good ones. I've had an online campaign where I think we spent $20,000 and got about $10,000 in revenue. And then we've had some where we didn't spend anything and probably realized close to $50,000. And it just depends on the medium, on the outlet in the channel. Typically, I can say I think pay-per-click advertising probably is the most easily measurable outlet for online marketing, and we usually experience, our goal is to experience somewhere between 20 and 30 to 1 ROI on our pay-per-click ads. And sometimes those are funneled through our independent websites, or they're supplementing what the brands are doing online and augmenting their keyword buys to help us compete on our street corner. So in terms of what I would expect to see on an average ROI, it depends on the effort, on the initiative, but I'd say somewhere between 15 to 20 to 30 or 30 to 1. And then there's also a paradigm shift of how we actually look at ROI. In a lot of ways, ROI might not even be the right metric. one thing that I've been talking with our people internally is sort of a paradigm shift of switching from ROI to something that I've heard maybe a year ago that I really like, called ROE, or return on engagement, which is, we're not necessarily investing dollars and cents into advertising, but we're engaging our customers, engaging our clients through social media sites, social networking sites, dialogue, through travel reviews, whatever. And that return can come in all kinds of different ways. Ultimately, obviously, we're all businesses, so we want it to eventually lead to dollars, but that return can be measured via impressions, visits to your website, click-through rates, whatever. And one thing that I would suggest to any marketer in the hotel space is, if you're measuring something that's not dollars, try and find a way that ultimately leads to dollars. I know for us, we'll have a lot of campaigns that will lead people, the goal of the objective of the campaign, whether it be through email or through link building and partnerships, is to lead people to our websites. And we're always tracking revenue of websites. So one of the things that's a key metric for us is how efficient or how productive are our websites. If we're making X amount of money in a month from one website, what's the traffic? And we do a little math and we find out, okay, well, the value of one visit to that site is X. And by running campaigns, you can say, okay, well, we increased that from X to X plus 10. I think that's a relatively simple but focused way to measure ROI.
Sure, and I would suggest as well that you had talked about a marketing funnel previously, and if you have a very good handle on what the stages of that funnel are, you can actually put your metrics towards each one of those stages to ensure that people are moving closer and closer
Absolutely.
to the booking side of the equation.
Absolutely.
David, thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
It was very insightful, and we enjoy having you on the program.
Well, I appreciate it. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
To all the viewers out there, be sure to visit vfmleonardo.com and VTV and post your comments. Tune in next week for our next industry expert.